We installed a 3-inch Rusty's off-road lift on my buddy's Jeep and completely transformed his rig. It only took us 3 weeks working weeknights after soccer practice.
All right, well, we got my buddy's Jeep TJ in the shop and a whole lot of boxes of Rusty's to install his 3-inch lift kit. All right, well, we've already got it jacked up. We got the wheels off. So the first thing we gotta do is basically blow the whole front end apart. Everything from sway bar end links, drag link, tie rod, springs, shocks, brakes, everything comes out. Pitman arm too. And then we'll start reassembling.
Oh, ooh, heads up.
Watch out.
All right, so here's a quick update. We've already blown off the brakes, the shocks, track bar is gone, drag link is disconnected, and Lenny is about to loosen up the pitman arm. Maybe. Yeah, word on cars is fun. It's amazing what having the right tool
Money.
Well, as it turns out, everything else was going super smooth. All the bolts came free easily, except the pitman arm. We've got tension. We've got heat. We've got a PB blast. It will come off. We will be victorious. At what cost?
Where's the bolt? Pick. You wiggle it, should come out. Oh, that'll work.
That works. Boom!
Sweet. Well, there is an axle just fucking floating there. All right, so right now we currently have a Bluetooth axle. Everything is removed. Springs, upper, lower control arms, brakes, track bar, drag link. Currently swapping out pump stops. And now we're gonna start putting things back together. All right, we got both upper control arms, or at least not going anywhere. We got the driver's side lower. Now we're gonna go ahead and set the passenger side lower. Which way we gotta go?
Towards me. That might be good. Wait, hold on.
Good. You're almost there. You're in. In like fun. This is so easy. We should start a shop. Good enough. Okay. Control arms are in. Time for springs. All right. So the next step to this install was we got the springs in. Now we got to put it on its own weight before we torque the upper and lower control arm bolts. But this looks awesome, except for the Carolina squat, but it's progress. Boom. Look at that. Time to torque some bolts and continuing with finishing the front end. We still got the track bar, drag link, pitman arm, shocks, and brake line extenders, and anything else that I'm forgetting. We're still working on the steering pitman arm.
we resorted to cutting it, and then we stripped out our pitman arm puller. So yeah, things are going well. Huh. Guess what, Leonard?
No way.
We are victorious. I was out of town this weekend, so we didn't work on the Jeep together. But Lenny came over, and he already installed the cross-member spacers, and he also went ahead and installed a nice cable conversion for his transfer case. Pretty sweet. Lenny's got the back jacked up. We're gonna blow the rear end apart, which could happen after Taco Bell. And we're gonna start lifting the back of this thing, get rid of that ugly Carolina squat. Look, Mom, a Bluetooth axle. All right, we got everything apart. Next up, we're either gonna do the upper control arms or we're gonna thread in the new bump stops. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm getting these rear upper control arms set up to go in. And according to the directions, I need to make them about 3/8 longer just as a starting point from stock. So stock measures about 13 1/4 if I'm just showing you quickly. So plus 3/8 makes the new ones 13 5/8 if I can hold this steady. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these up in the beast while Lenny is drilling holes over here to mount his new bump stops. So things are going back together. In theory. Look at that. One more to go. My first time. Yeah. The 3 tries, and we finally got the upper control arms in because I kept getting the orientation wrong for the parking brake brackets. But you know what? It's all good. Next up is springs, I think. I don't know. Maybe we'll actually refer to the directions for once. We've got the upper and the lower control arms on. So we're gonna throw the wheels on and get a look at what this thing looks like before we do shocks or any kind of alignment, anything. It's time for a beer and to look at our work. There we go. Here's the first look at a leveled up Jeep. It looks sweet. All we have left is alignment and shocks, brake lines, bleeding, track bar. I don't know. I'm not going to count the list yet. I just finished torquing the upper and lower control arm nuts per spec through Rusty's instructions. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw the shocks in this thing. And then we're getting close, ready to start aligning stuff. Track bars, sway bars, still gotta bleed brakes. So setting up for the track bar, I've got the ruler right there against the frame. And we're gonna measure to this half tread right there, 13 1/2. I'll go to the other side. there to the frame, right by the spring pocket, just like before. And look at that, 13.5. So now I'll stick the track bar up in there, make sure it's adjusted right so the holes line up, and then send it. After measuring to make sure the axle was centered, we laid up the track bar and adjusted it. And then we used my come along to pull the winch into the right spot, or to pull the axle into the right spot to get the track bar in. All right. So we've got the track bar in, the axle is centered this way. We also pulled a measurement from the axle tube to the forward lower control mount. This way we can make sure it's at least square and everything's so far right. So we're gonna go ahead and set the pinion angle. We're gonna do that by taking a straight bar across the back of the transfer case. And I've got a level that I've got zeroed off. So I'm gonna take the same straight edge, put it inside the yoke across long ways. I'm gonna put the level back on, and that says we're about 2.5 degrees out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten up these upper control arms so that we can bring the pinion forward just a little to get us closer to zero. Because it's a single cardan on both sides, we want both U-joints to be in phase and as close to 0 degrees as we can get it. So that's what we're doing now. All right, pinion angle is set. Rear axle is centered everywhere it's supposed to be. Sway bar end links are now installed. So we're gonna go ahead and bleed the brakes, and the rear end is done. All that's left now would be just align the front end.
Yep, and stabilizer shock.
Oh, yeah, align the front end, we gotta put a steering stabilizer on it. Oh, and then we have to replace his radiator because it cracked in the same spot mine did. We're not gonna show you that because I've already got a video that if I can figure out how, I'll link, I don't know, however it works. You can check that out that way. And then we'll go for a test drive, which we'll be sure to bring you along for. All right, putting the rear end down for, it should be the last time. Go ahead, Lenny, let's see it. Yeah, buddy. Okay, now we'll align the front and then go for a test drive. All right, I'm centering the front axle. And again, I'm measuring off the frame to the tire. Let's see, where am I on the frame? There we go, we're gonna call that 20 inches to that lug right there. And if we come over to the passenger side, we're gonna go up to the same spot in the frame, if I can find it. Right, cha. And 20 inches. So, we're going to adjust the track bar to get the hole to line up, throw a bolt in it, and then continue with our alignment process.
Wiggle it.
Turn the key to unlock your steering wheel, and then wiggle it back and forth. Just a little. By the way, there you go, we're in. For the front alignment, we've got the track bar set, put it where we wanted to. Now this is a double cardan. If you look, there's 2 U-joints up there, which means we want this pinion angle to be close to 0 to this drive shaft. And when I just measured it, we were at 0.6, and 0.6 is a number I can live with. So we're gonna drive it, see if it vibrates, and we'll go from there. Next up, steering stabilizer. And we have to adjust toe. The other thing is you want about roughly 7 degrees caster, but that's hard set by the axle and the pinion angle. So you get as close as you can, it's a compromise between the two. So for now, we're going to put the steering stabilizer in, set the toe, and go for a test drive. Steering stabilizer is on. Everything else is set except for toe right now. Roughly a 1/16 inch toe in is what we're gonna set it to. And we're gonna go get a tape measure and some straight edges to measure that out. Anything on the Jeep. All right, hook me outside and let me know when you're good. You good? All right, to the inside of my ruler, I'm calling it 75 1/4. Move to the front.
Yep, as I expected.
What?
To the front, I'm 75. So we're in a 1/4 inch, which means we want to bring your toe out. All right.
Get it, come on.
$75 1/4, 75 1/8. So let's do one more 1/4 turn, and that should give us our 16th in. We're gonna call that 75 1/8. 75 1/8. That's fucking perfect.
So what was the back?
75 1/8. This is an 1/8, just a tear heavy. I'm gonna give it
A little more?
I'm gonna give it a tiny crack back the other way, toe in, and we're done.
Here's where we are. We tried to back her out, and shifter kept hitting the console. So we're gonna fix it with fire. We're gonna put a small bend in the shifter, just enough to clear it, because he has a body lift already. So then between that and the transfer case drop, this is probably the right answer. Maybe. Well, we're just getting back from the last test ride. First one went real well. We made a quick adjustment to the steering wheel, helped center it a little bit. After the second one, we made some brake adjustments, bled them real fast. And yeah, this is good to go.
This build took my buddy and I 3 weeks to pull off. Mostly late nights after soccer practice, turning wrenches under the garage lights and chasing down parts. This Rusty's 3-inch lift didn't just add clearance, completely transformed the look of my buddy's TJ. It went from mild to mean. Now it looks like it's built to handle whatever the trails will throw at it. More than that, it gave us some solid garage time, a few good laughs, and the satisfaction of seeing it all come together bolt by bolt. If you're into real world builds that happen in driveways, after real life, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you next time, probably still covered in grease, probably still wrenching after dark.